Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, this is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, man. Let's kick this puppy and get it moving. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's in a good space. Everybody's enjoying the good weather. That heat is out there. It's happening. I'm DP, in case you forgot. Jay Foreman is out today, so I'm going to jump back in here and throw some blows and have some fun with the coach, Kenny Wilhite and Austin Norman. We appreciate y'all for hanging out with us. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln Hotline. If you want to be a part of what we're talking about, hit us up. And if not, you just want to chill on the Starter Heyman video stream, you can find us Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter Live. And then if you're feeling homey, if you're at the crib or you're at the office and you've got aloe fiber, all you got to do, jump on channel 951. You can see what's going on in the studio there. Kenny Wilhite, what's happening, Coach?
What's up, brother? How you?
I'm good. It's good to be back. Like, Jay's sending out the bat signal. And let me be clear with everybody.
There wasn't no bat signal.
It's like, hey,
you were out doing what you're supposed to be doing.
It's always like, look, man, you in today? I'm like, I'm in. Like, I'm here if you need me. I have to thank you guys because you're allowing me to take care of extra business as we grow and expand and change how things are done. Those hours in the day run short. And then the business side of it is there are folks that I can reach between 4 and 6, and it's important for some of those folks. And then running between here and down a new location and running around all over Lincoln. And then, you guys letting me go, do something outside of this, which is important. So
it's called PHP. You know what that means? Austin? PHP. People helping people.
Yeah.
Yeah, got your back, bro.
It's appreciated because it allowed me to, I got to go to UFC 287.
Lots of knockouts.
Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. It was Miami, and it's the new version of Miami because Miami. If you went to Miami 5 years ago and then you went back to Miami, you would not recognize Miami. Like, it is trying to become New York South. Big, tall buildings everywhere, lots of construction. A lot of business folks move down there. The finances of the state kind of allow folks to come down and do business a little bit different. So they're down there. And I have to be honest. Like, when I go to UFC, especially when it's at a big city, those unofficial business dudes always find me. those dudes who do big business, but they do it in dark corners. They always find me. They always find me, want to hang out. And then, of course, Miami has its own personality anyway. So they had not had a UFC fight in Miami in 20 years. And this was the first, 20 years.
Wow.
And Dana told the story to the media that the last time they were in Miami 20 years ago, the total gate for the event was $440,000 20 years ago. 440. Saturday's event. Now, UFC's on a streak that every building they've been in, they've done the greatest revenue for that building of all time. They beat the record at Madison Square Garden. Imagine being in, play Billy Joel and Bon Jovi playing there, and UFC beat that. Well, they came to Miami. And you got to remember, this is the building that, hey, LeBron was winning titles in. Like, he was winning NBA titles in there. Yeah. Right? Like, he was winning titles. UFC generated in gate $21 million just in tickets sold.
Stop playing, bro.
21 million. So this is what I found out. So the octagon, the seats by the octagon, so the media sits second and third row. But first row, they keep some seats for celebrities and that sort of stuff.
Tyson
and then, right, they had the full crew, right? Those seats were going for $21,000 each.
God.
Each. And they were sold out. All the floor seats, the cheapest floor seat was like $5,000.
Well, OBJ was right there.
Oh, well, you just made $18 million, so go ahead and spend your money, bro. Like,
hold on, wait.
$18 million.
No, $21,000, and then $5,000. Holy smokes!
Like, you could to sit at the top of the building was $480.
$480.
Top of the building. Well, it hadn't been there for 20 years. So everybody in Miami, it's just money. It's money, people, and so it's just a bidding war in CNBC. A lot of business deals going on. A lot of one-night contracts were in play, Kenny. If you there were a lot of dates that were one-night contracts. A lot of people didn't know last names.
To watch a street fight.
I was like, bruh, you got your chest out, but she ain't yours tomorrow, man. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? But to be in the back, and so depending on the card, like, I spent a lot of time in the media room. Like, I'll walk the concourse just to get the vibe for the people. And then between your seat and the concourse, you just people watch.
I love people
watching. Like, it's just you people watching. And then immediately, like, then Devilish DP shows up. And then I'm just keeping track of, like, okay, how many of these people have too little clothes on versus the appropriate amount of clothes on? And it was 85 degrees. So appropriate, right? You're going to be in shorts and, okay. But the skin level was way off the charts.
You in Miami.
The skin level was out. And there were it was like, oh, okay, everybody out today. like it was an event, man.
You in Miami.
So that's what, and then they said they did another $18 million in concessions that night. So it's remarkable. All of it. You just sit back and do that. And so this week they're in Kansas City, and normally for the event, like, the media stuff starts Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the weigh-ins, they do the official weigh-in, which is Friday morning. And I just wish everybody could go to one of those.
The weigh-in?
The official weigh-in. The official weigh-in is where this is where they really, like, the real weight they announce later. This is when they have to be on weight. And you could always tell, first of all, nobody's happy. None of those fighters are happy last morning they haven't eaten.
Because they had to starve.
Yeah, like they've lost. So Pereira was at 203 last week and fought at 185. Now, that's not even his walk around weight. Like, he was walking around at like 230. And he lost down to 185 on fight night. Now, the thing that happens once you make weight is they go crazy.
They go get cheese.
They go crazy.
Pancakes.
Yeah, it's crazy. But so it starts at 9:00, in the morning. And then, so the people who are there first, one, are people who did the best job, but those are people who make weight. Like, those people who make weight. And then when you see the ones that are last, those are like you see the Dana got that look on his face, like they're not real happy. Like, okay, bro, you bet, like you feature, you better make weight. So Pereira was one of the last ones to get on the scale. And it was like, hey, bro, you gonna make weight, man? You gonna make weight? And so much so that, like they said, this will be his last fight at 185. So if he had won or lost, this was going to be his last fight at 185. It's just the weight cut was too much. And you could see, I mean, and think for the women fighters, it's that much tougher to lose that weight. So you watch that, and then the ceremonial one is the one that they have on TV, and they invite all the fans in, and everybody's already done their thing. They've already weighed in, and it's just the hype. But what's happened in the meanwhile is that they're either resting, eating, or they're getting even, right? Because then it's, to tell you, of the 22 fighters who were on the card, 6 of them almost got into a fight before the fight. So imagine that. Like, I knew Masvidal was in trouble because Friday night, outside the arena after the weigh-ins, Masvidal almost got arrested. He went after somebody on Friday when he was supposed to fight.
I think I saw that
Saturday, right? And I'm like, what is happening with y'all? And then Kevin Holland and Masvidal almost fought in the hotel lobby. So it's crazy, the stuff that goes on, Kenny. It just, you sit back and you go, okay, this is it. This is why I'm addicted to it, because it's better than soap operas. It's better than drama movies, because it's just like, first of all, these athletes are barely human. And I can tell you, so they come in after their fight. So the winners come into the media room and do the press conference. Losers never come in, but the winners do. And of all the fights, the only winning fighter who walked in that room clean was Adesanya. 3 of them came in wheelchairs. 2 in crutches.
Any with IVs?
Yeah, that's what they do. They do the IVs in the locker room before they come out and do. Like, so literally, there's enough time from their fight, they go back into the locker room, go through their recovery and all their checks. They get blood checks, right? Make sure they're not doping or anything like that. And then if that fight goes 1 round, then it's a backup. But if it goes 3 rounds, it gives them enough time to come in and be heard and get talked about. So it's just fascinating just to watch all the stuff in the space. And then, so Kansas City this weekend is not a pay-per-view, but it's a fight night. So it's ESPN. But
how many fighters on this card?
22.
Where is it at?
It's in Kansas City at T-Mobile or whatever.
T-Mobile downtown.
Yeah.
The old Sprint Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
same building.
It's a good venue.
Yeah.
Good venue.
So I would imagine that, once again, I don't know the last time they were there in Kansas City, but I can't recall the last time they were in Kansas City. But I would imagine that they will set another record for revenue for gate and concessions, because that's what they do.
2017.
Yeah. So it's been 5 years.
2017 was the last year in KC. Same venue.
Yep. Gate of 1 million.
Oh, they'll destroy that.
12K attendance.
Well, okay. So when we go to break, I'll do a quick check on what tickets are going for. And then I can tell you, whatever their greatest revenue, whatever it was for the building, one, because the floor seats are added to it. Mm-hmm. But on the other side of it, the value of the ticket has gone up, and it's crazy. I've committed to doing Newark May 6th, which is a big pay-per-view. That's that's $288, and that's a good one. That's a really good one. But our buddy Drew Dober, who's from Omaha, is in that one. So we're gonna go cover that one, and then the following week they're in Charlotte, which is my town, so I get to go back to Charlotte. But Anthony Smith, our buddy Anthony Lionheart Smith, is the co-main event for that one. So the Nebraska fighters are showing up and showing out. and they'll have the opportunity. And then I'm also like the dilemma. So I have a book launch Saturday at 12 noon. So there's that. Yeah, it's like I got time. I'm going to sign. I need to set aside some and sign them and give them away this time. I need to do that as well. So I'll do that maybe in a later segment. But Friday night, WWE's in town, and so we're going to give away a pair of tickets. I'll have Kenny come up with we'll get our collective heads together, and in the last segment of this hour, we'll come up with a trivia question and make somebody answer that question for those tickets. And of course, UFC and WWE are now partners, and so there's a lot of engagement going on, a lot of stuff there. Northwestern comes to town to play the Huskers in baseball. The last high school team I coached, that quarterback is now the starting second baseman for Northwestern baseball. So I'm going to have to juggle some stuff to see everywhere and be everybody. It's going to be a busy weekend. So I do have I Kenny and Austin have heard the story, but I want to tell the story. I keep applauding the universe for bringing me to Lincoln, Nebraska, and every single day I get some acknowledgement from the universe that this was the right place for me. And yesterday was one of those days, and I'll tell that story. And then we'll give away 2 tickets for WWE. I'll ask Kenny and I will break down, get ready for spring game, talk a little bit about the NBA, talk about the draft. There's lots to talk about. We'll cover it all, and we'll include you guys in it. We'll come back more old school coming up.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Put lawn irrigation on automatic. Think Judson Irrigation for worry-free service to Lincoln homeowners and business community. Judson Irrigation will turn on your sprinkler system in the spring, repair or redesign as needed, and turn it off in the fall. For service to orphan sprinklers, remember Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Hey, it's Nicklin Hames from Nebraska Volleyball. I hate wasting time in practice, and I want to help you stop wasting your time when you're looking for an electrician. High Electric has been serving the area for over 30 years for both residential and commercial properties. They are experts in everything like remodeling, new additions, hot tub installation, and more. And they take jobs from Beatrice to Omaha and all towns, big or small, in between. Call them today at 402-466-6606 or learn more at high-electric.com.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Warm, windy conditions will fuel fire dangers this afternoon as a red flag warning will be in effect. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of 87. South winds gusting over 30. Clear skies tonight with a low of 59. More warmth and wind tomorrow. South winds tomorrow could gust over 40 with a high again of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. And again, I thank you guys for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah. So she would, when they won championships, Barbara Becky was in this sports thing. She was the, like, it was Queen Bee. Queen Bee. We were talking about Nebraska, and I'm grateful and thankful and appreciative of the welcome and the love and the engagement I've gotten since I've been here. I keep saying that, people go, well, why Lincoln? Like, why Lincoln? I said, well, Becky fell in love with it. Becky was the one that pitched it. And then it wasn't until we came to visit that I started to look around and go, hey, this is pretty cool. There's some pretty cool people here. So yeah, we want to be a part of it. And we came to visit. And then I started to find out that I had some connections here. Like I did, again, Kenya Hunter, I've known Kenya since he was 7 years old.
Good dude.
Tony Farmer and I were roommates in the minor leagues. Like we would travel, and I was doing play-by-play, and he was traveling. Jerron Boone. I did a show with Jerron's dad, Ron. Like that, my first show in Utah was with Ron Boone, and Jerron played on that minor league team in Utah. So, and it kept connecting. It kept connecting. Well, it connected again yesterday, and I have to tell the story because it just. It made me all emotional, and I just want to say thank you to the universe out loud. So I get a message on Facebook from somebody that I'm not friends with. And you know how that happens. You go, huh, okay. If it's not a name you remember specifically, you deal with it. So I look and I click on, and it's like, hey, do you know Red Jenkins? Now, Red Jenkins has been on this station. So back during the pandemic, when there was no sports, I would bring in some of my old DC friends, my friends from around the league. Now, Red Jenkins is one of the 10 greatest high school basketball coaches in the country. Period, point blank. Like he's up there with Morgan Wooten from DeMatha in that space. He was at the gym of which in the school that I coached was named after Red Jenkins, and Red would hang out, and Red was best friends with my high school coach, Del Norwood. So Del Norwood played for the Senators, played for the Red Sox. Del Norwood was the dad of Scott Norwood, kicker from Buffalo, that missed a kick and forever and ever and ever. But without Del Norwood, I don't go to college. I don't play baseball in college. He did that for me. Red is still a mentor to me to this day. I get the message from this person, and he goes, hey, do you know Red Jenkins? And I'm like, yeah, Red's my guy. And then I check the profile, and it says Lincoln, Nebraska. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, cool. And he says, yeah, I played for Red. Well, Red was such a high prestige coach that he coached, I don't know if you're familiar with the Capital Classic, but the Capital Classic at the time was the basketball game, high school basketball game of all basketball games. So all stars from DC, and they would bring in all the national high school players of the year and play the players from DC. So this is where Len Bias and Michael Jordan would meet. This is where Ralph Sampson would play against, Patrick Ewing. Like, this is how it played out. Well, this particular year, Red Jenkins, because of his success at high school, was the DC coach. On this team, and I have the roster, on this team that year, 1983, his starting backcourt was Muggsy Bogues and Tommy Amaker. A pretty decent backcourt.
Oh yeah.
Right? His starting small forward was a guy that ended up playing at Nebraska. Away from that, there's some talent on this thing. But Red and this person are still connected. So he says, hey, Red told me to look you up, said you're a good dude, said you're out here doing your thing. Let's hook up. I'm like, okay, let's get together after I get back from Kansas City. I mean, from Miami. So we had set it up that we were going to get together yesterday. Friday, I'm in Miami, and I get another message from this person. And I haven't added him as a friend yet. And the message says it's a clip that somebody's captured from a Facebook chat room from my family, because they're talking about the book being released Saturday. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, how'd you get this? Like, how'd you see something from my family? That's weird. And he goes, wow, you're writing about your pops. I'm like, yeah. He goes, your pops is my uncle. And I'm like, say what? Beg your pardon? He goes, yeah. I'm like, so we're family. I'm like, yeah, we're family. Like, we're first cousins. I'm like, oh. That person, because, and again, the connection through basketball and through Red Jenkins, he played, he's from H.D. Woodson High School in Washington, D.C., another factory. Came here and played for Nebraska, second team all Big 8, averaged over 13 points, 6 rebounds a game. The gentleman's name is Bernard Day. And it turns out that Bernard Day and I are first cousins. And we met yesterday, which is why I was late yesterday, because I got emotional and we got connected. And I'm just like, and he started telling stories of Nebraska back in the day, some of the guys he played with. We talked about, Nebraska Hall of Fame, Nebraska basketball. His son played basketball here and got injured his shoulder. He had 2, one injured a knee, one injured his shoulder, but one injured it on the first day of practice. But he's telling the story, and he coaches here and still around. And so I said, well, guess what, cuz? We need to get your stories out there. And he has some amazing stories. And first of all, he won the genetic lottery because he's got the pipes. Like, he started talking, and I was like, bruh, whoa. Turn off the amplifier. Like, this, like, all that. I mean, I know they say, put some bass in your voice, but come on. Like, he bottomed it out, Kenny. I'm like, okay. But some great stories about Nebraska back in the day. Back in the 80s, his time here. And it was another acknowledgement from the universe that Lincoln was the right place for me. There were people set here for me and me for them. And to find out that, Nebraska basketball is in my blood. Like, it's a thing, right? It's actually a thing. And the way that the journey happened, like that it took a high school coach from Virginia to connect me with my cousin who was a Husker basketball player, is just, and he lives here now. And I just have to tell you guys, you will be hearing, as a matter of fact, tomorrow at 2:30, he will be on the block with Austin and Strick, just to come in and chop it up. And he knows sports. He definitely knows basketball. He's a great trainer, great coach. But to find out that my cousin's here, and I'm like, well, welcome to the ticket. Welcome to the ticket. But man, just
small world,
right? Like I'm like, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. So yeah, once again, thank you, universe, for being so loving and so kind to me. From the text line, Randy says, Bernard Day, yeah, that seems to be the common thread. He said that Bernard Day was a great player. Yeah, that undersized, 13.6 boards a game. Web Banker said, DPR always love when you tell their stories. Bernard Day was an undersized forward who was a monster on the boards. Great former Husker. Yeah, we're going to bring him in and allow him to tell some of the stories of that. Also from the text line, Dave says Bernard was probably the first guy I remember playing for Husker hoops that could play above the rim. Yeah. I mean, that's, and I knew of him from DC, from H.D. Woodson. And look, you're good enough to make the Capital Classic. Look, that laundry list of DC players who made the Capital Classic. Yeah. So, and the fact that he made it from DC to Lincoln, Nebraska to play, it's there. Don, I want to answer yours. Don says, no, DP, can you work your magic to try to get Rico in the room with Austin Creed, Xavier Woods, just to make sure that they're not the same people? That's funny.
Rico was wilding out today.
That is funny.
Rico, my guy.
That is funny. Yeah, they do look familiar. They do look. Xavier Woods has better hair
than Rico.
Oh, Xavier Woods got the hair. Like he got the hair you can pull up. Like he can go from the full afro to the pull up.
Rico just cut his.
Rico just cut his.
If he his out, he'd be all right.
Rico don't comb his. That's the problem.
No, he just
like he got good hair for nothing.
He's got good hair for nothing.
Like he doesn't even comb it. I'm like, bro, did you comb your hair today? Nah, I ain't get to it.
It's a fresh cut. Don't even just.
Yeah, there's it. That's it. Kenny, we're a week and days from spring game, and so through Locked On, a lot of the conversations I get from other colleges in the company. So the people who cover those teams, they're now in a network that communicates information back and forth. Right? So imagine that any player who is considering going somewhere else and who's getting an offer, you know how it here is in Nebraska, that no deal happens overnight. There are several conversations that are in play, and that you also know that Nebraska people share information. Well, the same works in the other direction. So if somebody from Nebraska reaches out to other places and says, "Hey, I might," as in air quotes, I might be available, that information gets out. A lot of the conversation has been, is it better for the player or for the program to wait until after spring game to make changes? So let's say this is the defensive line room for the sake of conversation. And if you've got 7 players and you're not fully engaged with all 7, is it more beneficial to the program to wait until after spring game, or is it better for the program to do it before spring game so that their eyes are clear and it's uncluttered?
No, I mean, you got to give them opportunity. Again, you really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't know. So you have to give them an opportunity to show what they can do. Mm-hmm. Now, you may have in the back of your mind that you don't think that player can help you, but you also don't want to throw them in the trash just yet because injuries may occur.
Somebody could get hurt in spring game.
Somebody get hurt in the spring game.
Somebody could show not.
Somebody can not show up. So you don't want to do it just yet. You want to give them the opportunity, and you want to give yourself an opportunity to evaluate them, to fully evaluate them. Because this will be your second or third scrimmage coming up this weekend. 2 or 3 scrimmages aren't enough. The cream will rise, but you need capable backups. So you don't know. You don't know. This weekend is the telltale weekend.
So for the player, from the player side, One, if you have lukewarm, if you're not sure of your standing where you are, and you have better than lukewarm reception elsewhere, what should be the player move? Do you wait until after spring game? Because here's what happens after spring game. Everybody is a flood pool. There's more traffic after spring games than before.
You can't do anything until this weekend anyway.
By rule.
By
rule. But we know
from the player standpoint, you know where you stand. You know if you're in the mix, if you're out of the mix, or if you.
Do you think that they're players?
You should know.
Do you think they're players that really think all I need is one more shot, and I can be home and be where I want to be?
Some players think like that. There's a lot of players that think like that. All I need is one more shot, one more chance to prove to them. Now, are they going to give you that opportunity?
That part.
But you should know that by now. You should know where you stand.
If they don't know, is that on the player for being oblivious or the coach for not communicating?
That's on the player. Let me rephrase that, because the coach can be a bad communicator. But the coaches should always communicate. Where we had Tony Samuel on yesterday. He's a good communicator. He let Jay know, hey, man, this guy coming in may be so, but it was a challenge to Jay, so Jay can make sure he was on his P's and Q's. But I've always been around people and wanted to be around people that was straightforward with kids. Let them know where they stood. Now, there's some guys that'll play mind games, and then that's not beneficial for you or the kid, because now you got that kid thinking he's better than what he is, or he's going to be a contributor. Then when he's not, now you got locker room lawyers. So, but at this point in spring ball, each kid and each coach should have been communicated with towards where they stand on that team.
I find it all, like I said, this next 15 weekdays is going to be bananas, because the face, the names, the identity of Nebraska football will change tremendously in the next 15 days. And I just want people to be prepared for it, because no matter how comfortable folks think they are, or who your favorite player is, or who you think the most productive is, it will all change, and we will know more about this coaching staff. We'll know more about the schemes. We'll know more about the depth chart that doesn't actually exist, but it really does. We'll know more about that.
There's a depth chart in one of the rooms that's behind the door that only people see as the coaching staff and support staff.
Well,
there's a depth chart.
We're going to talk about that. Like that's literally where we're going to go. We're going to give away a couple of WWE tickets. If you're interested in that, we'll come up with a trivia question, and you can put it on the text line. We'll allow that, or you can call in. If you want to just call in, the numbers are the same, 402-464-5685. One trivia question. First person who gets the answer right gets those tickets. And if you don't want the tickets, when you answer, say, hey, I know the answer, but I don't want it. I don't want the ticket.
Give them away.
But you can give them away. It's entirely. I don't know why you want to give them away, because I may try to convince Austin to go, and you might get to sit next to Austin. Like, why would you not want to do that? There'll be some ticket talent in the building. That I guarantee you. More. We'll close out the first hour old school when we come back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for a solid, stable career in assembly, CNC machining, or injection molding? We got you covered. Hi, Bob Williams, HR Director for Garner Industries, a world-class manufacturer with a 70-year history right here in Lincoln. And I just listed some great career opportunities that you can find by logging into GarnerIndustries.com. If you want top pay, excellent benefits, flexible work hours, and the opportunity to work in a clean, modern, air-conditioned facility with great people, contact me today by applying online at GarnerIndustries.com.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back again. Final segment of the first hour, and again, thank you folks for hanging out. If you're interested, get your texting fingers or your phone ready. Phone ready. Simple trivia question for 2 tickets, free for Friday night's WWE at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Simple biz. So if you're interested, here's your chance to win those tickets. The trivia question is pretty simple. This name, well, I have to be fair because I have to specify this one. I have to be really specific. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Lord. I thought we were going to do this together.
We can come up with it. Well, this is one. Actually, we can move it because I do want you to come up with this trivia question. Because I would go too hard. Like, I'm a wrestling freak, so I would come up with something ridiculous.
So it's something to do with wrestling.
It doesn't have to be for you to give, because if you're willing to do the trivia question, then it doesn't have to be wrestling. It shouldn't have to be wrestling.
For them to win wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me come up with it.
Okay. We'll do that. And then we'll do that at the top of the hour. That way Kenny gets responsibility for it. And they won't get mad at me.
I'll make it simple.
Yeah, right. Well, because we want somebody to win, but that's what it is. Plus, these folks, they Google. The hard thing, this is what a fan told me 2 weeks ago. He said, because we used to do trivia every day, and we don't do it as much on the old school as we used to. But he said, yeah, you would always do it difficult because people will Google, but you can't Google and text at the same time unless you're set up in front of a computer and you have your phone. So people in their cars were screwed because they couldn't Google and then get the answer texted in time to win. So it was tough. But we'll have Kenny do that top of the hour, 5 o'clock. So that way you have time to do it. So we're talking about transfer portal and the things that go on beyond that. And Austin made a point that the players, Kenny said they should know. And then Austin asked, and I want to go further with it. Is it the responsibility of the coach to be sure that the player knows their standing? I'll ask Kenny this side of it. Will coaches tell him the truth even when it's not beneficial to the coach? And then I'll ask Austin that if you're the player Do you demand the truth, or are you good with whatever they tell you? Kenny?
I know for myself.
That's why we ask you, because you know you have
I'm going to shoot you straight. Now, is it done? 100? No.
Okay.
But a coach should always be up front with the player, whether it's going to hurt his feelings or it's not. You have to tell him, hey, here's where you stand. The only way you're going to help this team right now is through special teams. You have to be on special teams to help this team right now. Now, I can't tell you that you won't get any reps at a certain position, but right now, your role right now on this team is a special team player. It needs to be communicated.
Can you actually win a special teams job at spring practice?
Can you? Yes.
So there is enough live rep and official rep.
It's not live. Well, you can go live. You can have live special teams periods. You can.
Okay.
The thing about special teams is you want a guy, first and foremost, that's going to do it the way you want it to be done. Whether it's on punt team, protecting first, then getting outfield, being able to get off a block, a double team, whether it's a gunner or a tackle, right? And then are they in the right place every time? So as a kickoff unit, you have two guys that goes to the ball. You have contains on both sides. Then you have two safeties. You have two safeties and a kicker. So you have three safeties, actually. Kickers in the middle, and you have two safeties on the outside. Are those guys that are going to the ball, or they're going to the ball and they're going to that outside shoulder? Right? Is that contained guy the next guy who's tackling on the outside shoulder? Trust. You have to trust, right? But then there's drills you do within the confines of each team, and you'll have guys stand out in those drills. And if they can carry that over to 11 on 11, they're going to win the spot.
I think, and it struck me the other day at practice, yesterday at practice, that in watching, because we get to watch some special teams, that when Nebraska conversation gets to scholarship numbers and that sort of thing, and there are guys that don't play a lot on the regular, but they play a lot on special teams. Those are going to be real big in the scholarship numbers conversation over the next 2 weeks. Those folks who can come in, because, you need to play special teams. And if you've got 6 running backs and 13 receivers, those dudes are going to have to
play special teams.
They're going to have to play them in full.
And you'll have some that'll balk at it. They don't want to play special teams. But then now you tell them, if you don't play with special teams, you ain't playing on offense or defense.
Like you might as well plan on, especially the first 2 weeks we on the road, you be
at the crib.
Yeah, you be at the dorm.
So it's not it's not above to leave a scholarship kid at home and bring a walk-on kid, because that walk-on kid is a better contributor on special teams.
And he's higher at a position.
He's higher at a position.
He's higher on the depth chart in a position of need. Austin, it's that thing, right? If you're a player and you want to be at Nebraska and the coach tells you, no, you're okay. What do you want to know? Do you want to know the truth, or do you want to know what makes you feel good?
You're okay is so nebulous because there's a part of me that it's on the player to phrase the question right. Like, it's not, Coach, where am I on the depth chart? It's, Coach, how am I doing? Coach, what do I need to do? Give me specifics to work on. Because the easy answer is, yeah, just tell me what I want to hear. If the coach thinks there's a plan for me down the road, yeah, I want to hear that. Yeah, I'm in the plans and I want to stick around. I want to hear that. But at the same time, do I want to play football at Nebraska? Do I want to be on the Nebraska football team? Or do I want to play football, see actual snaps?
That's going to be, I'm just saying, setting the table for the next couple of weeks, because it's going to be bananas, and we'll have lots to talk about. We'll talk about it at 5 o'clock. Kenny's going to come up with a trivia question. We'll give up some tickets. And then we'll go a little deeper into this spring game, because there are a whole lot of little soap operas within soap operas. More old school coming up second hour.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
WWE Friday Night SmackDown comes to Lincoln's Pinnacle Bank Arena, 6:45 this Friday.
I am back.
You'll see Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman, Charlotte Flair, Sami Zayn, and more. And from Monday Night Raw, the OC Snoop Gallows and Carl Anderson face the Judgment Day's Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and more. Tickets start at $20. Available now at Ticketmaster.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck, so stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning centers too. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 40th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh man, Kenny got y'all. Y'all gonna go to the lab. He's gonna send you to the lab. So the story is this. There's plenty. Kenny got a trivia question. Load up your phones and get your trivia mind ready. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline. If you want to call in and try to cheat that way, just call in and hopefully Austin will pick up the phone. Otherwise, he won't, and you're out of luck. But on the text line, you can do this. And let's see. We want to thank the folks from Mercado for taking care of us. Again, Certified Piedmontese. They've been doing some really good charity work as well with the University of Nebraska and the athletic department. So kudos to Certified Piedmontese and the Mercado. Okay, so Friday night, April 14th, 6:45 is when it begins. SmackDown Live. Pretty cool, right? So now everybody knows I'm a wrestling fan. I'm deep in.
I used to be.
Rhea Ripley. Yeah, fun to watch. Sami Zayn's in with Kevin Owens, tag team champions. The Usos are here. Braun Strowman is here. The Brawling Brutes, who are amazing. Solo Sikoa, who is the brother of the Usos, he's here. Many more. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Judgment Day's here. Best Value Entertainment. The doors open 1 hour prior to the event. So 5:45 doors open. If you're going to get merchandise, get there early. Just letting you know, the merch tables, there'll be 3 lines deep. Oh, the merch?
Really?
Look, the merch lines are, I just went through it with UFC. The merch lines are longer than the food and beer lines.
Wow.
Like it's 3 deep from beginning to end. So, there's that. So this is Kenny. Kenny has a trivia question. Kenny, give them the trivia question, sir.
All right. All you Husker fans.
Uh-huh.
Who was the last Husker to go into the NFL Hall of Fame? The last Husker to go into the NFL Hall of Fame.
We're only taking the first answer. The first one to get it right. 42464-5685. And look at the Google monsters all there.
They're there already?
Jordan and Wilbur. Will Shields. And Kenny gave you a hookup because you could have given 2 names because there were 2 Huskers that went in at the same time. See? And he said, no Google. I believe you.
Former teammate of mine. Great dude. Lives in the KC area doing great things.
So Austin, you did the deep dive. Who give the full name, the full number of Huskers in the NFL Hall of Fame?
There are five Nebraska football players.
5
in the Hall of Fame.
Who can name them 5?
All 5. Because I wouldn't have. I would have missed 3 of the 5.
The 2 most recent ones, you and I would have had deep.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I had to give you a couple of clues on the recent one.
Tingelhoff got in, correct?
Mm-hmm. So we got Tingelhoff and Shields.
Craig should be in, but he's not. And then we did have a discussion over who we thought was next, and I'll get in trouble for saying it. But so Kenny, hold on. Who did you say was? We agreed on one.
Agreed on one. Sue.
We agreed on Sue getting it. Yes. So Sue will be an NFL Hall of Fame. Like that's an easy one. That's easy.
I said Levante David.
You said Levante David, and I said, because there's so many. Like, this is the thing I say when it comes to the Hall of Fame. Can you tell the story of the NFL without talking about that player? Like, that's what the standard for the Hall of Fame should be to me.
No, there's some guys in the Hall of Fame that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame.
Right. Well, I fully agree with that.
You cannot tell the story of the Buccaneers without telling the story of Levante David.
Yeah, you can.
How?
Can you?
Yeah. No.
How deep? Where's he on the top 10 Buccaneers list?
Well, you have
because the Green brothers, the Selman brothers, Green, Ricky Bell. Like you're talking. I mean, there's the whole. There's the whole.
You have Barber. You have
which Barber?
The DB,
Rondé.
You have what the big boy name is. Brooks. Derek
Brooks.
You have the big boy that Nebraska.
Is he as good as Derek Brooks? Is Levante David as good as Derek Brooks?
I'll throw this out here. Again, numbers aren't the whole conversation. According to approximate value on ProFootballReference.com, Levante David is the 4th most valuable Buccaneer of all time.
Thank you.
Do they have him? How many Selman brothers are ahead of him?
0.
Then it's wrong. Then the list is wrong. Then that's just wrong.
DP.
That's just wrong.
Derek Brooks at
Derek
192, Rondé Barber 148, Warren Sapp
That's what I was thinking of,
124,
Warren
Levante David 104, Leroy
Where's
Selman.
Brady? Where's Brady?
He's
Where's
only
Brady?
been there 2 years.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
going in as a,
It doesn't matter.
He's going in as a Patriot.
It doesn't
He's
matter.
going in as a Patriot.
He won chips for Bucks.
He's going in as a Patriot. Come on, keep going.
Stop it.
Number 5 is Leroy Selman at 92.
There's your Selman, brother.
John Lynch with an AV of 84. Mike Evans, Hardy Nickerson, Paul Gruber, Gerald McCoy.
Hardy Nickerson is the comp for me.
And I agree with all of it.
Hardy Nickerson, if you told me Levante and Hardy were side by side and that Hardy was a Hall of Famer, then if Hardy's a Hall of Famer, Levante's a Hall of Famer, and vice versa.
Okay,
but you're not going to tell me. I'm old enough to have watched the Selman brothers. There's no way you're going to tell me that Levante is on the level of the Selman brothers. Love the dude, love it, love, but no.
Hardy Nickerson, 1,272 solo tackles, 21 sacks, 19 forced fumbles in his career. Levante David, 949 tackles, 29 sacks, 27 forced fumbles.
Different game, different responsibilities, different deal.
It's a faster game, bro. It's a faster game.
You stop that.
It was more physical back
You
then,
stop it.
but it was.
Just stop
the
it.
Bucks was terrible.
Look, take
terrible.
take your Nebraska rose-colored glasses off.
Nope.
And look,
hey,
if
the man can play football.
If you told me he's a Hall of Famer, I'm okay with that.
He's
like
gonna be a
I
Hall
told
of
you, I just to ponder it, to put him in a space. But can you tell the story of the NFL without talking about Levante David?
Cannot.
Okay.
The consistency that guy has done every year.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like Jay will tell you. London Fletcher has a greater run for consistency and production than Levante David, and nobody talks. Like Jay's the only person I know that talks about London
Fletcher's a baller.
Fletcher should be in, but everybody can't get in.
No, they can't.
Everybody can't get in, and that's why I'm thinking that he's not going to get the pull outside of Nebraska and outside of Tampa that it's going to take for him to get. Like, I don't know.
He's also in a tough spot because Luke Kuechly was maybe a half step better than him for a handful of years. So he was the second best linebacker in his division.
Yeah.
Not by much.
See,
but...
and so Mark and Holland, you can't give me the how many rings does the Selman brothers have discussion. That's not what we're talking about for the Hall of Fame. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Barkley's in the Hall of Fame.
It doesn't matter. Like, we're talking about the quality of play, and yes, the longevity. Is he a great player? Great career, outstanding player, outstanding. But we're talking about outside of this market and outside of the emotion attached to it. Do you think in LA, when they think of the best linebackers in the game the last 10 years, is Levante David a name that they say? And I don't know that that's true. I could be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. I'm okay with saying if he gets in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to applaud and agree with it. I just think that, that's a thing, right? Kuechly doesn't have a chip, but there's no question about that. I mean, like, there's no question. Urlacher, that people talked about the level of play at that time. There are guys, London Fletcher, who never got a chip. But listen, what he did, oh my goodness. Like, you count the Rams, but I'm talking about for the duration of his career away from that, what did he do, right? Like, what did he do, right? Right. So through that, you mentioned another name. You mentioned Prince. And I just think there's so many top-level cornerbacks who are.
It'd be tough for him to get it,
right? Not that he had the career, had the numbers and productivity. So outside of that, is there anybody else that, like Craig? We all can agree that Craig should be in,
yes.
And they're flawed.
There should be no discussion,
right? Like, it shouldn't even be.
There shouldn't be any debate on that one,
right? Like, I mean, I'm bothered by it still.
What about Amon?
Yeah.
That's the next one. Right?
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that when he saw that Amon was doing a show for us, he lost his mind because Amon's his dude. But he's a Seahawks fan. And he gets really angry because people don't give Amon credit for being a Seahawk. And I'm like, that's not my fault. You're a Seahawk.
That's on Green Bay.
Right? Like,
that's on Green Bay.
Right?
Like, his productivity in Green Bay,
it was crazy.
It was crazy. He could be. So we're saying Sue.
Uh-huh.
I said David.
Uh-huh.
Armand.
Those are the next.
Those are the next three.
Those are the next three. And text line, you can let us know if we're missing anybody.
If we're missing anybody,
if we're
please let us
missing
know.
anybody, please let us know. And it's that's in the space. I want to talk about, as we're talking about the NFL, I want to talk about the draft, because we're at that point now where it goes a little crazy.
Hold on. I
Mhm.
just got a message. Sorry not to cut you off.
No, this is
I'm
what
going
we
to throw
do.
another name out there. He's going to be mad at me for not even mentioning him.
Uh-huh.
Neil Smith. My bad, Neil. It didn't come from him. It came from somebody else. But
see,
the productivity's there.
I would say that
championship's
I would say this, and it's sad that this is true. But if Derek Thomas was alive for 2 more years, Neil Smith's in the Hall of Fame. If they played together 2 more years.
But he left and went to
but if they played 2 more years together.
Okay.
Because that's the bond thing, right? Because think of, who was it? Sapp and Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
That helps. Von Miller's problem is that he didn't have he didn't have a Superman to his Superman.
He'll get in though.
He'll get in because through Dave Remington in the honor system. What's Remington's Pro Bowl count? And
not necessarily Pro Bowl. How many years did he get?
Dave Remington played 6 years in the league.
Yeah, that's the problem.
44 career approximate value. Looking up Pro Bowls just a sec.
Yeah, no, he was gone before he passed. But if they had been together for 2 more years, I think that's an easy win. I still think
he'll get in.
He'll get in 10 years from now.
10 years from now?
10 years from now. He'll get in because they'll go back and go, whoa. Because there's no Von Miller vibe without Neil Smith.
No.
Like that vibe had to be reset because that position changed over that bridge. Rayola.
I can see that one. Dom, you let me know if you think you're going to get.
Yeah, right.
You let me know.
Because and here's the funny thing: players know.
Yeah.
Like they know how other players
you
talk
can text
about
it
them.
to me. You don't have to call in. You can text it to me and just let me know.
Right? Okay. So the kickers. And shout out to my boy Tom Stevens, who used to always tell me that Nebraska was, kicker U. And I was like, that's not really a thing, bro. Like you can't just create that Nebraska's kicker U. Like, no, you can't. But somebody said Sam Cook. So
18 years, right? Is it Cook 18 years?
He came out in 2006, I want to say.
But what would be required? What would be required for a kicker to be the next kicker in? Like, how good who's the next kicker in? Because there's only, 3? 4?
Tucker's the next, or Vinatieri's the next. Then
Vinatieri's
Justin
the
Tucker,
next.
Then Justin Tucker.
Or is Vinatieri already in?
I don't think he's been retired that long because the Colts just kicked him out a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Somebody texted in Vanden Bosch. I already said Grant. I said Grant. Wistrom, yeah. Somebody texted in Vanden Bosch.
Yeah. Wow.
Sam Cook was a second-team All-Pro in 2015 and made his one Pro Bowl that year. For his career, he had 39% of his punts inside the 20, a 7.4% touchback percentage, and averaged 39.9 yards a kick.
So
I don't know how that compares.
At the level of, and mainly it's place kickers. We're talking about punters. Different deal, because that's a much shorter list and a much higher level of greatness required to be in it. Morton Anderson, Luke Rosa, who also played tackle, Gary Anderson, Jan Stenerud, George Blanda, who also played quarterback. Ken Stanley is the greatest kicker, and I don't know anything about Ken Stanley. Adam Vinatieri is in. Justin Tucker, he's not in. He'll be in.
He's still playing.
He's still playing.
Is that it? Is that it?
No, Vinatieri is not in yet. He will be eligible in 2025.
Okay.
He made the first team All 2000s team from the Hall of Fame.
Okay, yeah,
but not in the Hall of Fame.
This list is wrong. So yeah, and Ray Guy, Reggie Roby's not in.
That's amazing.
Like Reggie Roby's not in.
Is Ray Guy in?
Ray Guy is the only. I think he's the only one in, right?
Reggie Roby. Wow.
Right? I mean, isn't that true? Like, text on, let us know. Is there another punter?
Ray Guy's the only one.
Wow. So here, Austin, give the list of Janikowski.
He's not in yet.
No, but he might
could be.
He could.
He might. So the 5 that are in: Chamberlain's in, Lyman's in, Brown, McTinklehoff, and Shields are currently in. Mosley's the only NFL MVP as a kicker. Like, he won the NFL MVP. He was the player of the year as a kicker and had the longest streak until Anderson broke it. But I don't think they will get him in. I don't think and I don't think an NFL kicker will ever repeat as an NFL MVP.
No.
Like, I don't think it'll ever happen. So if Mosley's not in, it's going to be pretty difficult for kickers. Like, that standard is in play. Ray Guy is in. Yep, that would be the one. Yeah, that kicker thing is weird. So Nebraska will have some conversation over the next few years. Like, we're going to have some conversation to have. Over folks who are going to get in. Of the players at Nebraska, and again, as we're talking NFL, who do you think is the first player taken?
Trey Palmer.
Easily. Trey.
I got phone calls about him yesterday.
What they asking?
Oof.
What they want to know? What do they want to know?
They're doing their homework. They've had draft meetings the last 2 weeks, and about 4 of them called me yesterday. So they just want to make sure that they're doing their due diligence.
Whereabouts do you think he'll go? Not what team, but early second, early third?
I'm going to say mid-second to early third.
And then behind Trey, who's next?
Travis.
Austin?
I think Travis, someone though, is going to talk himself into O'Shawn's frame. Even though he lost his tape this year.
You brought him up, and I got 2 calls about him yesterday.
See? And see, the listeners don't know, but like so I get those calls, and it's always funny to me. And people say, well, sometimes DP you're vague. Well, one, out of confidence for the people who are asking questions, there's certain things you can share and certain things you can't share. And you try to explain to people, okay, here's what I can suggest to you. But I like the fact that I can sit here now and ask you guys this stuff and let you guys.
So you may be right. O'Shawn, then Travis. But the phone was out. The phone was blowing up yesterday.
Here's the name that I'm just stunned that there's less talk about. Garrett Nelson. I'm stunned that
he's
because of the way business is generally done.
He's going to find a home.
Like, he'll be in the league next year. Like, I'm willing to make that bet.
He's going to find a home, and he'll do well. There's still some developmental stuff there for him, but he's going to play hard. He's tough. He's strong. He just got to find the right fit for him, and he'll be fine. But we're talking early draft. It's Trey, possibly O'Shawn, Travis, then Garrett.
I just, that's amazing to me. Like, because we spent the last several years in front of microphones trying to explain to people that how you feel about a player is not necessarily how everybody else feels about said player. And that sometimes local media and local fans can put the wrong thought into the head and into the heart of Nebraska players.
No, Garrett is much deserving of the conversation, though.
To talk about the young man is one thing, but to talk about what's the gap between why he's not getting the conversation that he should be deserving of?
I think mostly it's because he didn't get the combine invite. But his pro day was decent. His pro day was pretty good. It opened up some eyes, but I just think he gets into the right system, he'll be fine. Whether he get drafted or not, He'll be fine because he has a motor, and he's not afraid to be on special teams. And I just call him a rockhead. He's tough. He's physical. So I just think the conversation piece is.
So let me ask: can he be a third down pass rusher in the NFL?
He could. He could.
Could he be a run stop edge in the NFL?
With his strength, yeah, he can anchor down. He can anchor down. He's got tools. He's just got to be developed and coached.
So that requires a team, an organization that has room for that.
Yes.
Which may actually help him.
There you go.
Because a good team who's at the bottom of the picks, who doesn't need immediate satisfaction and gratification, will find the talent and the heart and the motor and say, okay, this is a guy that I can put behind an existing star, let him build up 2 or 3 years, and then get his work in.
I'll say this, not you, Kenny, but I think sometimes in the Nebraska football, even Nebraska athletics bubble, good players here get raised up maybe a level higher than they are nationally. I would say like a really good player at Nebraska is a good player somewhere else in some cases. A solid rotation player at Nebraska is fine, but I see, the last few years, this is a late first, early second guy. He'll go in the third or fourth. So I think sometimes being a little too close to the situation, or there not being the same consistent pipeline of NFL caliber talent around, I think a lot of people are looking for that next guy to be at that level and trying to anoint them instead of letting them actually work their way to that level.
False narrative. People have been sold a bill of goods.
One of these days, we're going to have that narrative conversation. We're going to.
I mean, as somebody that's been on the Trey, Amir, Randy, Vincent, Malik.
Those are legit NFL dudes.
Legit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
but
we've had
development. So development is always a question,
Mm-hmm.
like what they're being taught, what they're being coached, what the reaction to being coached is, because sometimes people don't appear to be coached when they've been rejecting of it, rather than there being a lack of coaching offered to them. But the other thing that Nebraska fans have to remember is that every team in the country has a Garrett Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one. Now, he may not be as talented as Garrett or as big as Garrett or strong as Garrett, but they have a good locker room guy who's a motor and a brickhead who will run through the wall and can lead the team, but that doesn't make him an NFL guy.
Nope.
Now, I think Garrett is an NFL guy because he has some intangibles that we don't talk about.
Yes.
That we don't get to talk about. And that I think that Garrett will spend more time in film study wherever he goes than he ever has here.
Garrett is one that I could vouch for that was in the building studying film.
Mm-hmm. And I think he'll do more of it.
He studied his opponent.
Well, because that's how he's going to make the team.
That's his DNA.
Like the physical stuff, like there's a ton of physical guys. But Garrett and his film study, when he's seen in the room and being curious and asking questions, that will tie him to coaches who will be willing to make that commitment to him. That's the difference for Garrett. That thing, that, like the motor thing, like I'm all a fan of, the energy thing, the size thing, but that film study thing, for all that he did here while going to school, he doesn't have to go to school anymore. And now he can spend extra time in the weight room, being seen and heard, and in that film study.
And he ain't got to worry about NIL.
Yeah, you get what you get. You get what you get. We'll talk about it. There are 2 NBA games tonight. We'll talk about those. Get Kenny's take. Okay,
my takes have been way off.
That's okay.
Even in the NCAAs.
We're going to get them anyway when we come back to Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. But now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction material. They sell in bulk to save you money, buying anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. They deliver anywhere, and if you mention you heard this ad on 93.7 The Ticket, they'll deliver in town for free through the month of April, with some restrictions applying. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still free and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Warm, windy conditions will fuel fire dangers this afternoon as a red flag warning will be in effect. We'll be looking at an afternoon high of 87. South winds gusting over 30. Clear skies tonight with a low of 59. More warmth and wind tomorrow. South winds tomorrow could gust over 40 with a high again of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Again, thank you for being active on the Sartor Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. Once again, thank you to folks from Piedmont, certified Piedmontese beef, the Mercado. Thank you for what you do. It's almost time. I think we'll be out. We need to figure out. I think we should be back out there soon. So we'll work on that. Get those folks on board. We were talking, and again, the NFL talk and the draft talk. I'll ask Kenny as a coach, and I know you focus, you think like a quarterback who happens to be a cornerback.
No, I think I happen to be a quarterback, but I think like a defensive guy.
Is that true?
That's true.
So you score 4 touchdowns thinking like a cornerback. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. When I play quarterback,
like you ain't no such thing as a halfway quarterback. Like if you out there balling and
when
and
I
get
played quarterback,
Uh-huh.
I thought like a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
When I made the switch, the quarterback went out the door. I don't even bring quarterback anymore. It's it's black shirt for life. It's tattooed on my. It's right here.
Okay, fully earned, nothing
So,
given, everything earned.
I earned mine.
So as a coach,
yes.
So as a coach, and it's the draft, and I always find that coaches coach to their personality.
Yep.
Right? You can't help it. Like you coached to who you were as a player. You identify that way, you think that way, you process that way. So let's say Kenny Wilhite all of a sudden becomes general manager in an NFL team. What's the first position you're going to draft? What's the first position that lets you set the tone and give the identity to your team?
First off, I got to know the makeup of my
No,
team.
no.
I have to
Look
know.
at you, politician.
No. I just can't go picking somebody.
You're acting like a GM right now. Yeah.
I got to know the makeup of my team. So let's say who has the first pick this year?
Carolina.
I'm going with a quarterback. Because if the quarterback that you have on your team now is not a guy that you think that the team will rally around, you got to get somebody else. And you got to get the best available guy that you think can get your team going in the right direction and everybody will rally around him.
And this is why Kenny's the perfect person to ask for this. Because Carolina knows we need a quarterback. We're in a division. We need a quarterback. And then there are quarterbacks available. But Carolina is going to do the one thing that worries me because they're going to let productivity be second to size. Can short dudes play quarterback in the NFL? Would you take a short quarterback number one? Would you?
If he can play football, yes.
Is that because you were a short quarterback? Or is that
hey, Drew Brees.
Right?
Not saying that short guy is going to be Drew Brees. But I mean, you got Kyler Murray, you got Russell Wilson, right? Michael Vick wasn't that tall. So you say they're going to have problems seeing over the line. Well, there's holes, there's windows that they can throw through. There's bootlegs, there's sprint outs, RPO, right? So no, I would not have a problem taking a short quarterback. If he's a proven quarterback, yes.
So these are the Fighting Wilhites, Carolina Fighting Wilhites. And all these quarterbacks are available to you. And you get to walk up there and pick one. Who you picking? Who you picking? Austin, I'm going to ask you that too. Of all those quarterbacks, who you pick?
I got 5 minutes to make that pick. You know that, right? We got 5 minutes on the clock. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna take the guy from Alabama.
Austin?
So
the Fighting Ormans of Carolina.
The reason why is he's been in the NFL system. He was allowed to make checks and calls at the line of scrimmage. Nothing against CJ Stroud, but those spread offenses, those quarterbacks has usually struggled in the NFL early on. So that's why I say my guy from Alabama.
I am on record on this radio station, on podcast, check those out, by the way, if you haven't already, of saying, as a Colts fan, I would be fine with them taking either Young or Stroud. Hard to pick against either one of those guys. For the sake of conversation, I'll go Stroud, because I think the biggest selling point for Bryce Young is his creativity, which is huge, especially in a more modern, open, spread out NFL. But plain and simple, a quarterback's first job, his main job, is throw the ball.
Yes.
Get it there on time, on target. I think CJ Stroud proved over his couple of years at Ohio State at his pro day, the combine, he puts the ball on time, on target. Short, intermediate, deep, left, middle, right. seems like he can process, and I don't think the athletic flashes against Georgia were a fluke. I think he has some more of that in him, that he can be creative enough, but he's not going to make that his first route of escape. I think I trust the arm. I think I trust the brain. And heck, one of these Ohio State quarterbacks has to be good eventually. So hope isn't a strategy, but I'll take Stroud.
All right, gentlemen, you're going to ask this question. There's 2 quarterbacks in the room. You only get to take one. This is for the NFL. Hendon Hooker from Tennessee or Stetson Bennett from Georgia.
I was going back a joke about Bennett, but I won't. Hopefully he's gotten himself together. But I'm going to take Hooker.
Austin, who would you take?
If I go with my gut, I say Hooker as well. He's got to step in and be ready, though.
We are so weird as
he's older.
As creatures, we're so weird. Look, literally, the dude just won two.
But you say that he. No, nothing against him.
No.
The talent that Georgia has right now is second to none in college football. So he had pieces around him that made him. Now, he did do what he's supposed to do, but he had pieces around him that made it.
So if you
took
the 21 starters at Tennessee and took Bennett with them, and then took Hooker and put him with Georgia,
Hooker gonna win the championship.
I'm going to continue this. So now that you put Hooker in the place, Anthony Richardson or Hooker?
It's I mean, I don't want to say a guy's boom or bust because I watched Richardson again. I watched his highlights again last night on ESPN. I would take Richardson.
So Richardson behind center at Georgia.
Oh, that's easy.
Does more for you.
That's easy.
Austin?
If I have an organization that's committed to the plan and the vision, I take Richardson. If I take an organization that just needs a quarterback, I take Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
So let's say, for the sake of conversation, you got the 21 starters at Georgia, and you can either put C.J. Stroud behind them or Anthony Richardson.
C.J. Stroud.
Okay. Here's where it gets funky. 21 Georgia starters.
I know where you're going.
C.J. Stroud or Will Levis?
C.J. Stroud. Is it Levis or Levis?
I call him Levis.
But I'm taking Stroud.
Just out of spite. Just out of spite because I
Levi's. You thinking of Levi's?
I'm taking yeah, because I just don't understand why he's
in the conversation.
I don't understand.
I'm taking Stroud.
Like there's nothing that I don't get it. I don't get it. Austin?
To Levis's credit, he was successful when he had an NFL style coordinator and NFL talent around him. But I still think the mark of the best quarterbacks is they help elevate that talent. Lesser talent, I don't think Levis did that at Kentucky. Stroud.
I just think it's fantastic that people will talk themselves out of production, like out of actually acknowledging production. And we can say whatever we want to say about talent at this level, but if Levis, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, folks are talking about the most, and then you want to make a decision on who you're going to trust your franchise, because nobody's taking any of these four who's not going to have to literally give these young men the keys to their organization.
You want to give them keys to the Ferrari.
Right. And my favorite coach used to say, look, be careful who you attach your car to. Could be a stud, but it could also be a donkey. And you be careful. You end up in a ditch, and you'll understand why. From a production standpoint, who had the best college quarterback career? Of those four, who was the one that produced? And you could say of the five. Because if you told me that whose career of the five, if you add Bennett to the five, whose career would you rather have?
Well, I want to win. So Bennett won 2 back-to-back.
This is why it's so weird. Like,
but productivity is different. right? Am I right? Also, how far off am I?
You're on the
No,
right
this
track.
is why we're having the conversation.
Productivity, I want to win.
And you can't be wrong.
And
Like,
I
you cannot be wrong.
always say, I never played for stats.
Yeah.
My ultimate goal was to win.
To win.
So right now he has the biggest argument because he's won the last 2 national championships.
And put up some numbers doing it.
But I don't know if he put up the numbers that
he's going.
So
the argument that he had talent at Georgia, he's going to have talent in the NFL no matter where he plays.
Don't say that because your boy ain't had no. We talk
Well,
about
Baltimore
exactly.
Yeah. Fair.
And
fair.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't had much receiver wise. I'm just receiver.
I think some of that needs to go. That blame needs to go on Aaron Rodgers.
It does,
because there's zero chance you tell me that if Aaron Rodgers held out and demanded receivers that they would have got him. Like, some of that's Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, and that's from the mouths of the receivers that offered to play with him.
All right, Austin, what you got?
So, in terms of production, I would say Stroud and Young are a tier.
Yep.
I would say Bennett is a tier. And then Richardson and Levis are a tier.
That's how
in terms of just stats, numbers.
That's how I
not
figured it,
championships,
too.
not rings, just pure
That's how I figured it.
passing, running stats.
Which is why, like I said, it's all fascinating because all of the people who are making decisions about where these quarterbacks are going to go are supposed to be win first people. Like, at the core of the job, as the GM, the coach, the offensive coordinator, all of that is to win. Now, we know that there are coordinators who are using this as resume for their head coaching resume.
Kellamore.
And
did you say Kellamore?
Maybe
right?
not.
Because they want people to
Is
watch
that
this.
who you wanted as your head coach?
No, yeah, no, because it's watch this. Like, watch what I can do instead of watch me win. And I think some folks are missing the boat on a winner because there has not been a winner at the college quarterback position in the last how long? When was the last time a quarterback won back-to-back championships in college?
Back-to-back would have been
Bama.
Well, just the same quarterback would have
different
been
quarterbacks.
No.
Did Chris Lee? We given Chris Lee credit for the first one with
You
Florida?
have to.
Okay, then not Tebow.
It's rare. This dude's a unicorn. A unicorn.
Tommy in 94, 95? Does that count?
Dude's a unicorn.
So you say that, and let's take that to recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain guy up the road that's a proven winner.
Mm-hmm.
So you want winners. You want really good football players, but you also want winners. You want to surround yourself with winners. Winners know how to win. Mediocre guys or talented guys that don't win don't know how to win. You have to teach them how to win.
Unless you took a 0-win team and turned it into a 5-win team or a 6-win team, because that happens. That does happen.
Yeah.
I wonder how you did that.
And that's a unicorn that you you take that. But again, when the conversation ultimately on draft day and on recruiting day, recruit signing day, that if you tell me that the young man won or the young woman won, right? Yeah. Like, it's just it's a thing. So we'll throw the break. We'll close out old school. We'll get these NBA talk in before we let Kenny take off.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Smoked meats, amazing sides. The only problem when they fix you a plate is that at some point, that plate will be empty. But hear me out. What if that plate was never empty? That dream can be your reality with the Mary Ellen's Express Lunch Buffet. From 11 to 2 every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday. One price, all you can eat, and it even comes with a drink. Tell your boss you're taking a long lunch and get down there. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake. Let them fix you a plate.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com.
I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. The best way to strengthen our economy for the long term is investing in our education system and raising the skills of American workers. To succeed in the global economy, we need to modernize our schools, hire excellent teachers, and focus on the future. Support great public schools, and we can make the good life even better.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Want to thank you folks for hanging out with us over the course of the 2 hours. Greatly appreciate it. You know, some good stuff around.
Did you give the tickets away?
Yeah. Yeah. Who won it, Austin?
We got to give the tickets away to, let me find him down here, Jordan and Wilbur.
There you go.
Jordan,
he got the answer right in a hurry.
Right off the rip.
In a hurry.
His email and the on the block winners email have been sent to Jake Sorensen. Should be receiving your tickets soon.
Yeah. And if you're gonna be there, come look for the ticket, folks. We'll be
Congrats, brother. Congrats.
We'll be around. All right, Kenny. So tonight, you know,
hopefully I can get these right.
Last night was interesting. Last night I understood how you could get those wrong, because you don't expect a team at home to just fold them. But you, like I had said, the whole thing was that, like I said, UFC was in Miami all last week, so Miami was on the road. They were on the road, and then they came home, and we know, like, playing game after you've been on the road, you got to see people and you got to hang out and you got to. Oh, okay. The Lakers game, it was exactly what it was supposed to be. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. All right, so Kenny, tonight you got the Bulls and the Raptors.
I'm going with the Bulls.
Okay. Austin, who are you going with?
These two teams are eerily similar. If you look at their offense and defense ratings, the way they've been playing, I like DeRozan. I just have a feeling it's going to be the Raptors, though. I think this is one of those sports karma kind of moments.
Van Fleet. You going with Van Fleet?
I will.
The Fighting Van
Where
Fleets?
Toronto's got to go through DeRozan to get there.
They need to.
Karma.
I just the idea that home teams should show tonight because they had an extra day.
Two of them didn't show up last night.
Well, that's just it because those folks were both on the road and had extra pressure. I would think that Toronto would show up at home. You know, we run the North like they got a thing.
And the light-skinned rapper going to be front row.
Yeah, you know, he'd be out there and he'll bring some extra people.
Yeah.
Although, if he got there a night early, then it's why Chicago wins.
Yep.
If he got there a night early, yeah, hopefully he flew in today. Because if he got in the night before, yeah, there are going to be some weak legs. Oklahoma City travels to New Orleans.
Without Zion, but you still have the one that the Lakers let get away. Ingram. They let him get away.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they wish they had him right now instead of D'Angelo Russell because he laid an egg last night. But I'm gonna go with the young up and coming Thunder.
Okay,
You watch him in person.
I saw him in person.
That'll do it.
I saw him in person.
Who you got, bro?
I got the Pels. I've been wanting the Pels to be good for a while because of Zion, because of my boy BI. They had Duke South going on for a while there. Frank Jackson, JJ Redick was there at the end of his career.
Yep.
Finished 2 games better than the Thunder. Not a lot. Thunder are 2 years away. Pelicans get everyone healthy next year's their year. Give me the Pels this year, though.
Okay. I want to close with this. Friday, so tomorrow, Thursday, the Nebraska women's bowling team will travel to Las Vegas after punching their own ticket for bowling's Final Four. And we have relationship with those folks. I mean, Coach Klemper came in and visited with Sip and Jake, and the young ladies do their weekly show, and there were 3 bowlers who were in here Monday night, and they were excited, and rightfully so. A thing was brought up to me, which I want to address, and I hate being that dude, but sometimes you have to. Listen, if you're taking shots at these young ladies on social media who are representing this university at the highest level, that's a Final Four program. That's a Final Four team. And the young ladies that were here were all national champions. Spend the next 3 days with all of your energy, all of your positivity, and all of your joy in celebrating those young ladies as they compete with a chance to win a national title. Nebraska athletics has an opportunity to win a national championship this week. These young ladies have the opportunity to win a national championship this week representing you, me, and us. Spend the next 4 days yelling "Go Big Red" to yourself out loud as often as possible, as much as possible for these young ladies. 1, they deserve it. They've earned it.
They've earned it.
They've earned it. And 2, it's so that they know that you care about them as much as they care about representing you. That's just me. Young ladies, Coach Klemper, well done, well done, well done. We'll close the show with the 3 words we love so much because go Big Red.